country to keep our 8th Amendment. We appreciate them, do we not? Thank you.
And folks, now we turn to the wonders of technology. We'd like to share a short video with you from Irene. Irene credits the 8th Amendment for her daughter being alive today. Please orientate yourself so that you can see the screen and that you can hear this incredibly moving story.
I came to Ireland from South Africa. 6 years ago, I got pregnant, but I wasn't ready for a baby. If I'd been living in any other country, I would have had an abortion. So I'm so glad I didn't. Ireland's 8th Amendment saved my daughter's life and mine. Now I could never imagine life without her. Please protect it. Save children like Isabel. Vote no.
No further ado, I'd like to introduce the spokesperson for the Love Both campaign, a lady who needs absolutely no introduction, and her name is Cora Sherlock.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? Thank you so much for being here in such huge numbers. Let's give it everything we've got for the next fortnight to protect our 8th Amendment. A vote for repeal is a vote for one of the deadliest abortion laws ever proposed. Sadly, some people are still under the illusion that the government's proposal is restrictive. But I would urge anyone who thinks this to examine the evidence of Dr. Peter Thompson from Birmingham, who addressed the Oireachtas committee that proposed the referendum. Now, I'm not going to describe his testimony in graphic detail here today, but I will say that a vote for repeal would facilitate the barbaric procedures described in Dr. Thompson's testimony. Our Minister for Health, however, continues to mislead the public that this proposal is about healthcare. It is not about healthcare. The definition of healthcare in countries where abortion is legal has become corrupted. And the same thing would happen here if we repealed the 8th Amendment. Genuine healthcare is about saving lives, not ending them. If the 8th Amendment is removed from the Constitution on the 25th of May, then the government will unveil a GP-led abortion service, providing for unrestricted abortion on request in the first 12 weeks of pregnancy. And doctors like Andrew, who just spoke, who were trained to protect lives, will suddenly be expected to facilitate the taking of innocent human life. If repeal happens, it will transform local GP practices in devastating ways. And as a group, GPs will be expected to routinely harm their unborn babies in the false name of choice. Not just harm them, but actually kill them. We can't let that happen, and we won't let that happen. So sanitised that some regard it as extreme to describe, even in the mildest way, what's actually being proposed. But voters are entitled to know what they're voting for if they vote for repeal. And it's certainly not restrictive abortion that they would be getting. Rather than concluding that some unborn babies are unworthy of protection, we should be working instead to create a world worthy of them. On World Prematurity Day last November, there was an item on RTE's Morning Ireland featuring a consultant paediatric cardiologist explaining why there are more cases of complicated heart problems among babies in Ireland than in England, Scotland and Wales. When he was asked why there were more of those babies in Ireland, he said, "Because we don't have termination of pregnancy in Ireland, where in England, Scotland and Wales, those pregnancies would probably have been terminated." Just think about that. We would have ended those babies' lives rather than give them the great care that we currently give them in Ireland. It was one of those radio moments that stays with you. The Eighth Amendment has saved countless lives. We need to boldly speak up for it and defend it in the coming vital days. Because we know that Ireland would be a very different place without the Eighth Amendment. It would not be one for the better, and it is not one that we want to live in. We know that there will be lots of challenging moments over the next fortnight, but we will all stay united, truly united, to defend our Eighth Amendment. In just 2 weeks' time, this referendum campaign will be over, and we will either be in a situation where we still have our Eighth Amendment, which has protected so many lives, or we will be facing a new Ireland, an Ireland where abortion on demand is now accessible. That is unthinkable. I know you're not going to let it happen. So please, please, call around to your neighbours, those people you've been meaning to chat with. Visit the friends you can have a conversation with. Email your cousins. Phone your nearest and dearest. Tell whoever you have to tell. Just get the word out that the only way to protect our Eighth Amendment and stop abortion on demand coming into Ireland is to vote no on the 25th of May. In our favour. So let's make sure we do everything we can. And I want to thank you so much for everything you have done so far in this campaign. You are the most inspiring movement in Ireland ever. And well done for everything you have done. Keep it up for the next 2 weeks. And let's win on the 25th of May. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker is a mother of 4 boys, one of whom is Hugh.